Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fast Charging with BnB. I am Barry. Bear? Who the hell are you?
Um,
What is
and I'm
that?
Brian.
What are you laughing about?
Nothing, nothing. It's just seemed like uh, issue there. What a great week! What a great week for those tuning in on either channel on the simulcast one over on My Tesla Live or on Bear's channel at Bear's Workshop. This is a pre-tape because I am not in town. I am not near a computer. Where am I, Bear?
Well, I heard you were off work release, which is my running joke, and you have to go spend
Uh-huh.
your time doing your thing and paying your what is it? Your dues to society.
My debt to society.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what it was. Or the other thing I heard was that you are in Austin for the Investor Day pregame show that you are putting on March 1st.
Yeah,
So,
tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow at noon, it's going to be so much fun. We've got pizza, we've got drinks and door prizes, all free. We've got guest speakers, bunch of drone pilots. We've got Alien Space. It's going to be YouTubers. It's going to be so much fun, and it's free. So if you're going to be in Austin tomorrow, noon, Southeast Metro Park, link in the description. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot
yeah.
of fun. I'm so anxious about it.
Yes, and this is something that we kind of did last year for Cyber Rodeo. I won't be there because I do have to pay a debt to society, so I won't be able to make it. But it was a good time then, and there was tons of Teslas there. Oh, had to be several hundred people there, and it was a good time. And the pizza, woo! We had lots of pizza, didn't we?
We did. We did. This time, I think the ratio of people to pizza will be even better because it's a much smaller event. And last time we bought so many pizzas, it was,
But they all got eaten, didn't they?
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We
I
tore through 'em.
Oh yeah, I actually took a box and I hid in the bathroom and ate one by myself because
Sounds
sanitary.
insane. Hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys come out tomorrow, I will see you then. And if you don't, hey, man, I get it. I get it.
If you don't show up, screw you.
So, do you
But
know that the Ioniq 6 has got a price now?
yes, it does, and it's a not a big range. It's 42,000 to 57,000, so that sounds kind of good because that's I would assume 57 is fully equipped. It's got a couple different batteries that it comes with a small one, a 53 kilowatt battery, but still getting 240 miles of range, which is not bad. And the bigger battery gets you 360. That
Um,
that is
I
decent.
hope so. I hope so. Those do say that they're on the EPA cycle. So hopefully that if that comes out to be the case, that's a very efficient car. From the looks of it, it looks awfully slippery in terms of aero drag.
Oh
So
yeah,
that would be nice.
I would probably be able to slide one right into the air very easily.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
my only problem with this car is that it's still a Hyundai Ioniq, and I have serious issues with some problems on the Ioniq 5, and I'm 100% sure they're going to translate right over to the Ioniq 6 because those same problems are also evident in the Kia EV6 and the Genesis, whatever they call it, because I don't like the door handles that announce themselves all the time, saying that I'm open. Somebody forgot to lock me. Come over and get in. I don't like the regenerative braking having to be turned on. And it's the same way on all these cars. So that is kind of a buzzkill for me. Though, if I could get my hands on one, I might. But there are some things that the people in South Korea need to change in order for me to give that thumbs up on the car.
Sure. And based on these prices, I don't know if it's been submitted to the IRS yet for qualification, but it looks like every
Nope,
one of these models, or all but one, they won't qualify.
they will
Is
not
it because
qualify. Made
of
in
the
where they're made.
yeah? Well, they may qualify for state incentives, which would still help.
Yes.
But boy, that's going to make it a tougher sell if they don't qualify.
It is, but at the same time, it's a 360-mile range car. Uh, let's see, who beats that in that price range?
Loose. Oh, in that price range.
In that price range, who
Hmm.
beats it?
Hmm.
Keep
Nobody.
humming. Keep humming.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
not a
lovely,
Hummer.
right?
I know the Hummer is not in that price
No, no, no.
range.
It's twice the price range.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So no, Lucid's out.
Lucid's out.
The Pure is going to start at 80 ish.
Yeah,
So that's not good. The Model S is going to be
way out.
95,000. Uh, Model Y is at 330, I believe, on the range.
Right, right.
So uh, I can't think of anybody that's in that price range that's going to beat that.
Yeah,
Zero, zilch, none.
yeah.
And if there's anyone that beats it, maybe it'll be the Ioniq 5 next year. Maybe it'll be the
And I'll
Genesis, but that's all the same
yeah,
brand.
and I'll be honest. As divisive as this look may be, I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any problems with it. It's kind of, in a sense, it's a little bit like the Cybertruck. Took a moment to get used to it, but then you're like, yeah, yeah, that's good. Uh,
it it vaguely reminds me of the Altima from the '90s.
yeah, I don't think that's a good. You don't want to compare it to that.
No, no,
Oh
okay.
no, you
Oh,
want
okay.
it to be a little bit more sexier than a mid '90s car.
Do you?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay. Oh, good times.
Yeah,
So
it is.
do
Go
you know
ahead.
that last week, because we're pre-taping this, Tesla signed a deal with an interesting new battery technology company.
And what makes them so interesting? It's a
Well,
cool name.
so this is an interesting headline because it takes a different approach. What they really did was they signed a material supply company with a deal with a mining company, and this is, but they also have their own battery technology that they research and work on. So not only are they getting a ton of graphite from their mine in Tanzania, but they've also got a deal for a minimum of, and I don't know what this increment is, 17,500 TPA. So looking at it, I was like, terapascals? That's a measure of pressure, not volume. So
it's not that. It's
no.
it's tons per ass.
So I put in
It's
TPA.
how they measure
Yeah,
like Kim Kardashian type people.
well, I was like, let's try TPA to LBS pounds. And it was like, oh yeah, $2,000 for a ticket from Tampa to Fiji. I'm like, what?
No, no,
Yeah, Labasa, that's where you wanted to go, right? It's like, that's not a helpful conversion. So yeah, if you want to fly from Tampa to Labasa, Fiji, it's about $2,000. It's pretty expensive.
okay, well that's good information. I'll make a mental note of that.
Yeah,
But TPA's got to be like tons per something. I
yeah.
don't know what it would
So
be, but obviously I'm guessing and I'm probably wrong.
so the
So
carbon anode requires a very high quality graphite
oh, I thought
that
they're
you
making
can't get
pencils. I was going to ask you.
from just any old where. And this allows them to access to very high quality carbon that is needed, graphite form for, I don't remember if it's the anode or the cathode, but yeah, it's something that Tesla needs if they're going to move forward with their own in-house battery manufacturing. And I assume they could also assign these rights to companies that are making batteries on their behalf. So this is a good deal.
Yeah, you know what
Well, I don't know if it's a good deal, but it's a necessary deal.
I find very interesting about this? It's
What?
that this doesn't actually start till February of 2025, which means that whatever they need for graphite, they've already got that secured, and this is really setting getting their supply chain in order a lot sooner than this is right away. It's 2 years out before they even get one TPA, which I don't know what that is,
Mm-hmm.
but that's good. That's really good. You're knocking out your supply chain. So that TPA is starting from February of 2025 to a maximum of 35,000 TPA for a minimum 3-year term at a fixed price. Is that like 17,500 TPA? Is that per year, or is that for the whole life of the contract?
I have no idea. I
It's
have no idea.
it's really important.
But it's a big enough deal that when this was rumored to be happening, the trading of the stock in Magnus Energy Technologies was temporarily suspended because there
Nice.
was something so big that they had to stop trading it for a minute.
God, I wish
For
I
I think
had
it was
inside
today,
information sometimes.
right? 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 I also would like to go to prison like Martha Stewart.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of people that need to go to prison, let's segue right into the people at Ram.
Hmm.
Gosh, that's the best angle of this truck. But still, despite the horrible render to reality that Ram had on their Rev, they had to close reservations for its first electric truck. I think everyone who made the reservation thought that they were looking at the old the render and go, "Ooh, I want one of them." And then what they
Yeah.
get is going to be a flaming turd of a looking truck. So
Yeah. Well, it's just so boring. It's got it's got nothing new about it other than the drivetrain. Yeah, and they closed the reservations already. And I don't know. I don't know. If you were planning on making it in unlimited quantities, I think you would want more reservations. But I think that the reality is they know they're only going to make a small number.
yeah, I assume there's no mention of reservation numbers in here, is there?
I did not see any. No.
I don't see any either. And I'll tell you what, there's a comment in here which is pretty relevant. Name me all the Stellantis electric vehicles.
Oh, all electric?
Yeah,
Oh. So it would have to be somebody in the European segments, but not available in the US, right?
right.
There's
So,
no pure electric Stellantis vehicle in the US at this time, is there?
nope. There's a couple hybrids
Oh.
and there's some plug-in hybrids. Actually, I'm not even sure what they have. That's a hybrid. I know they have
Gee.
plug-in hybrid. No, that's a plug-in hybrid.
Oh. Right.
I've got the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid, which is on a safety recall. Sons of bitches. But I'm trying to think if they even have any hybrids. Straight up hybrids, not plug-in.
Mhm.
So this comment by Steph Soltes
Mhm.
is talking about the fact that Stellantis needs to, they're gonna have to debug this car, and everyone buying it's a first year beta tester.
And
And
that's absolutely true.
yeah, um,
Yeah.
I'm not in on this. I'm sorry. I might be in when they announce the Challenger, and I wouldn't mind being a beta tester on that because that looks like it's going to be kind of incredible looking
Hmm.
and expensive, but that's still kind of cool. This brings nothing to the table because do we even know the stats for this?
No. And this has no cool factor at all, like you were saying.
Yeah, nothing, zero, zilch. Nice grill. That's all you got.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So let's
But
talk about
hey, man,
cars that have a cool factor.
Porsche has a cool factor. Porsche.
Oh,
Sorry. Is it?
push, push. Uh,
It doesn't matter how you say it, you will get corrected in the comments. Count on that.
that's true. That is
So
definitely true.
they're taking a different approach to one pedal driving. What's going on, man?
Well, it's Oktoberfest in Germany right now. Maybe it's September Fest because they must
Hmm.
be drinking. Because I'm sorry, I don't like this idea. They think that somehow by just coasting instead of using the brakes to regenerate and slow you down, that you somehow save electricity. I'm not sure how this works in their minds. I'm not. I haven't read the comments. Maybe there's some super smart dude explaining it in the comments for this article. But it doesn't seem to me like you're making electricity when if you're not having any type of regen. See now, in my perfect idiot world, I always thought, why don't you just put like a generator, like an alternator? You see, you got alternators in cars. Why don't you just strap them to the wheels? So as you're spinning the wheels, the generator's turning, and you're charging your battery, and then you have a perpetual motion machine. And I've solved the energy crisis.
Right. And that's not possible for the same reason you can't drink out of your closed loop fountain without the water going away. It's it can recirculate all you want, but if you're drinking it, you're going to run out. The whole idea with regenerative braking is instead of converting your kinetic energy into heat in your brakes, you're converting it into electrons in your battery. If if you're not going to be converting it back into electric, this feels to me like an engineer in a position of power doesn't like regenerative braking, so he's making a million excuses to cripple it.
It's probably the guy who engineered the brakes.
It's the brake guy.
The
It's
brake
like,
guy said,
no,
"Nah, it's a bad
no.
idea."
We just need hotter brakes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Regenerative braking. I know you don't have much experience, like on an everyday basis. I love it. I absolutely love it, and it just I I I, I love it. I can't say anything more than it's like it just changes driving so much. I had a in you have to get used to it. I had a renter rent the Model S this previous week, and she wanted to know how she could turn it off because she said every time she was taking her foot off every time she was slowing down with the regenerative braking, it was actually making her car sick. And
Oh,
and I had to tell her, well, there's actually no way on the Model S on that model to turn it off. I said, but what you want to do is just instead of just taking your foot off the accelerator like you normally would with a gas motor, is lighten the pressure on the accelerator pedal. So you're not
just
taking
ease off.
just ease off slowly. And she tried it out and she's like, "Thank you, this is great." And she loved the car. She gave me 5 stars, and it's just a matter of getting used to it. But once you do it, it's just like you don't want to go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless, of
And
course, you're driving a Porsche, who's going to take it out of their damn cars?
crazy. I see this decision being reversed in the future because it doesn't make sense to me. But hey, man, maybe the person who made this decision clearly makes 10 times the money I do to make decisions like this. So they must be right.
Well, first of all, I'm sure they make more than 10 times you. Uh, yeah. You know, you guys really should go out and support Brian's channel, support him at this event this weekend. He spends a lot of his time and a lot of his money to bring the shows, to bring these events to you guys. So even though the tickets are free, he'll take up to $500 per ticket. I think that's his maximum before he starts to feel guilty. So please help Brian out with that because he needs it. Going back to this, you've heard me complain about the regenerative braking in the Ioniq 5,
Yeah.
the fact that you have to turn it on. It is one of the benefits of an electric vehicle. It really is to a large extent. It's if I was trying to sell someone an EV, once you get off the electric part, it's how you drive it is so much better. It saves your brakes. It keeps your leg from cramping, moving back and forth. There's just so many advantages to it. So right now I'm going to say screw you, Porsche.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I'm done.
So, speaking of awesome production ideas, how's the F-150 Lightning production going?
Well, it got hit by lightning, apparently, and started a fire.
Well, that's because Jim Farley was rubbing it and it made it really hot.
Is that what he's doing there?
When they told him to turn the car on, no one mentioned the battery.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Wow.
that's interesting. They probably should have brought that up, but I thought he would know, but maybe no.
Did you just
Different
make that
cars.
up, or are you sitting on that joke all day?
Oh, who knows? All day. No, I wasn't sitting on it all day. Expects production of its electric F-150. So down for through at least the next. It should be back online by now, but yeah, apparently there was during quality assurance they found an anomaly with one of the battery packs, i.e., it was on fire, and that's not how it's designed to operate.
Hmm.
So they went ahead and
So, wait a second. A battery pack catches fire. They stop production because they don't know what happened. Does this mean that there's a recall coming?
I don't know. I don't know. By the way, your video is frozen on my end.
My face?
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
there you go. Now you're working.
okay. Well, we just had a rain shower. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's
Oh,
probably the first time it's ever rained while we were doing a show in here,
rain.
Arizona. I
on
know
both sides. That's definitely a first.
that absolutely.
Uh-huh. So automakers routinely have issues and recalls associated with vehicles, but problems with batteries are a particular concern. So yeah, we'll see. It's hard. It's hard. They keep saying the big dogs are here. The upstarts better all be running scared because these guys know what they're doing. And I'm increasingly convinced that they don't. The more I see the legacy guys struggle with this, the more impressed I am with all the new companies and the small number of problems they've had relatively.
Well, don't forget the 3.4 million Teslas that have been recalled.
Yeah, more than the number that's ever been made have been recalled. So that's fun. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Do you know
Go
that in
hamburger.
do you know that in Hamburg, it's going to be no more fossil fuel powered taxis?
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, and here's a photo of a New York City
I was going to
cab.
say that is a New York City cab. If you
Yeah.
can't tell, it says New York on the plate. I was looking at that and I was like, "That is that what Hamburg looks like?" And then I
No.
and then I
No.
scroll down, and I saw the plate on there, and of course I noticed the 7K112 is the taxi number. When I drove a cab in New York City, mine was 5P17. I'm still looking to see if I can find that cab again. They all have a
Uh,
set digits. Yeah.
so you have frozen again, but we're just going to plow through that.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure you'll.
the fortunate thing on my side is I'm not frozen, so on my side it looks great.
That is cool. That is cool. I expect mass defections to your
Yeah.
channel.
So if you guys want to see this video done properly without me frozen, just check me out on Bear's Workshop, and you can watch this video with uninterrupted video.
We'll see.
Sorry, that's how
We'll
I'm
see.
stealing your people. Bear's
Yeah,
Workshop.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so no more
Yeah.
EVs. How many do they have? Like a whole lot of taxis in Hamburg, or is that the whole state? That's a state, isn't it? Isn't Hamburg a state?
Is it?
I
I don't
I thought I
know
saw
if it
something in here about.
is.
Yeah, Hamburg will be the first state in Germany.
Ah, there it is.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's a whole state. Okay, that's kind of cool. Um, okay, so they're talking about one fleet that has 150 cars. This doesn't sound like a lot. Do you know how many
But
yellow?
it's
Do you know how many
yeah,
yellow cabs like the one you see at the top here they have in New York City?
thousands.
Uh, at one point, when I lived there, there was they were authorized like around 11,700 of the medallions. Okay,
Wow.
and each one of those medallions at that point were worth like $150,000, and I think they issued new license like a 5 or 6 more thousand since 30 years ago. So I think there's somewhere around like 16,000 of these cars, and they're converting over. When I was there last year, I saw almost everything was like a Highlander hybrid. Most of the cars were hybrids, and they had some yellow Teslas like that. Not too many though, but that is a big impact. So
Yeah.
I see this on 150. I'm just like, well, that's not a lot of cars.
That's just one fleet. There's certainly hundreds, if not thousands, uh, but every bit helps. Every
Every
bit
bit
helps.
helps. Every bit helps. I wonder what the rules are on the New York City taxis, and are they? I think they're required to be hybrid, or better, or greener, but I'm not sure if they're gonna move their fleet all the way, because that would be a big step.
Yeah.
It would
Did you know?
it would still smell like vomit in New York, though.
Do you know that EVs like the Tesla Model 3 and Toyota hybrids dominate Consumer Reports' top auto picks?
I didn't know that because I don't pay for the Consumer Reports subscription. So this is good that people can make articles on what they pick.
Well, it's fun to me because Consumer Reports is all over the place when it comes to Tesla. One
They
day
are.
it's the worst car, the next day it's the best car, and it's
Is
very
it
difficult.
isn't Consumer Reports supported by like the Ford Foundation?
Yes, it is. And it's totally, totally separate. But they get a lot of their funding from the Ford Foundation, and all of their executives are former Ford executives, or almost all of them. So there could be some room for, I mean, they had the Mach E as like car of the year or the best thing. And then like a month later, they had to say, actually, it turns out the car is not that great.
Well, I'll be honest with you. My Mach-E is not that bad. I've got very few complaints about it. It has the best charging scheduler that I've seen on any EV. The best. 100% better than anything Tesla has, and better than Hyundai or Polestar, or you pick them. So I say I want to do a tweet and send it out to Elon Musk that will never get responded, and just show it the charging schedule on the Mach-E, and say, why can't we do this on a Tesla? It's you can literally pick the times that you want, several different charging times per day, and turn it off for your demand times. And every day of the week, you can put in there for every location you go to.
And it seems like the sort of thing that would be so easy to add to every car out there, and it would be helpful to nearly every buyer.
Yes. My charging schedule, like on the Polestar, like right now I have it, don't charge, and this is the same for the Tesla, don't charge between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Okay? But I can't put a second one in there because I have another on peak time, which is 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I have to be careful not to charge during one of those times because I can only schedule it off. So if I schedule it off and then I take the car and I want to go charge, let's say the parking garage I parked the car at, I have to change. I have to turn the scheduler off if I want to charge during those
Wow.
times. So with the Mach-E, I can go, well, I'm at home. These are the only times you're allowed to charge. Okay. When I go to the parking garage, let's say it's my work. Okay. I can tell the car, I'm at work. You can charge anytime now. And you just put it in there. It knows where it's at because, it's got the GPS services, and it knows where you're at, and it will and you can set how much at each place. You can go, well, when I'm at work, I'm going 100%. Work's paying for it. When at home, I'm going to 90, and I'll fill up at work. Whatever you want. It's got everything already built in. It's so simple because it's software. If Ford can do it, Tesla can do it. Because Tesla does so much more than Ford. So I'm done ranting. Let's go. That was my.
You always say that. You're never done.
No, I'm done ranting on this subject.
Oh.
For this episode.
So do you know the Nissan
Ariya
Ariya sees massive price cut of almost $9,000 in China? I know your producer gives us a hard time because we've never once mentioned this car on the channel.
Yes.
And I now realize that because we've never said the name out loud.
No, that's absolutely right, because we both would have said that before. What we both said, we would have said that, and we haven't. So this car is really not something you could find in this country, is it?
Is it? I don't know. I think it is, but I'm not sure if it is.
Didn't we look it up like a week or two ago?
Yeah, but I don't remember. According to the CNEV post, the main page of the Dongfeng Nissan joint ventures website is now showing a starting price of $32,770.
That's a nice price.
Hey, if you need your Dongfeng, that's what you got to do.
Oh no. I mean, it's not a horrible looking car.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I like that the colors are at least more interesting.
They don't have black fenders.
Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, Buzzforks. Yeah, it's Nissan's most expensive EV sold in China, where they currently offer several all-electric models, including the Leaf, the Sprinter van, and an electrified version of the Sylphy sedan.
Nissan has a Sprinter van?
Oh, it's a very small one. Yeah, it's like their little... Yeah, it's very
I thought Sprinter was a name brand.
Oh, it might be, but, the little...
Hey, go to picture number 13.
Yep.
Ooh,
Picture number 13.
don't go to 14.
I'm going to take a second to get there. 12, 13. Okay.
Look at the console, then look at the dash. Look at the buttons on it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that
Okay,
is.
that is interesting. I like how the dash looks broken at the edge, but that's all right.
It does totally look broken.
It-
Now,
that's cool. That's interesting.
and look how the floor, the console stops, and there's just empty space
Flat.
there. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah. I feel like trash from the passenger side could get under your wheel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now go look at 14 and try not to throw up
Mhm.
in your mouth.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That is a joke. What are you doing?
All right. Picture 17 has a better angle of the dash. It's somewhat better. Oh no, 17 is much better.
Yeah, that is better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's your passenger's crap is going to roll underneath your feet, 100%. But that underneath that hood, I
That's
don't.
tragic.
Yeah, that I don't even know what to say about that. You know, could you imagine Stanley Munro looking at that? He's a big fan of frunks, and every time he sees a big frunk, he's like a school kid jumping up and down. He loves them, and they don't even have a cover on this.
No. Well, I mean, the hood is the cover. I don't
No,
remember which one. There's one EV recently where the hood doesn't even open. It might be one of the Mercedes.
really?
The hood doesn't open. There's no user serviceable parts in there. It is not for you.
That sounds like
Bolt it.
Mercedes.
Bolt it shut.
Did you ever work for Mercedes? Because that really sounds like them.
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, we've got a Mercedes story in a couple of articles that is familiar to don't touch it, you'll break it. We're the boss, kind of thing. But I guess it's time to move on. We've given this all the attention we're going to give it.
Do you know that Nissan Leaf EVs will power evacuation centers in Japan when disaster strikes?
Why would they pick the Leaf?
Because it's got the hugest battery of any fully electric car made in Japan, I think.
Well, does it?
Is that it? Well, what other EVs are made in Japan? Because the Buzzforks and Solterra are made in China.
Yeah. I that's all I can really think of off the top of my head. But I'll tell you what, I would want to be in something that's faster than Nissan Leaf, that has a higher seating capacity and overall more range, just in case, if you got a car that's got a 200-mile range and, you just happen to be low, if you're down to 10% of 200 is a lot less than 10% of 300. So if you happen to be low on charge. So I would want to be able to get the hell out of there. Not my choice to when disaster strikes.
Well, this isn't for evacuation. This is to power the evacuation centers from
Oh!
vehicle to grid.
Oh, that's totally different.
Yeah, I wonder what the hell you were talking about.
I didn't know what you were. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just reversing the electricity.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that still doesn't work because it has no power.
It's such a small battery. But
Oh.
hey, man.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm going to put this Nissan Leaf. It's a 9-volt. Just happen to have one here. That's what's in the back of the Leafs, is what I heard. Or is it a couple of these? I got batteries just laying on my desk.
You ever cut open a 9-volt?
I just saw a meme yesterday that showed that there were 6 double A's in there, or triple A's. Six triple A's. And the math works on it.
Yeah, because they're all 1.5 volts otherwise.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen the pictures. I've never cut one open. I've also heard the same thing about the big 6-volt.
Hey.
I mean, go for it. Let's make some magic here.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure we don't fall apart on time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this open. Wait a minute. It's got a little charge left.
Ooh.
All right. I don't know where to start, but...
Just uncrimp the top, I think.
Oh, I got wire cutters. I should do this.
Yeah. So we can see.
Yeah.
Because I'm very interested now.
This is going to take a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I will tell a little story about CATL reportedly cutting battery costs significantly for some clients, including Neo and Li Auto, but not for, uh, but including Neo, Li Auto, Huawei, and Zeekr, and Tesla is not included, apparently. So this is good news. I mean, Tesla knows how to make their own deals. These companies are all struggling to get profitable. If CATL has some money there, then by all means, let them be the ones to get it. I think we made it.
It fell.
Got the shell.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now we have no idea what's in it.
Yeah, I pulled something else out I had sitting there.
Would you
So
look at that?
yeah, look at that.
It really is. Son of a gun.
By the way, this whole thing was completely spontaneous. We did not plan this out whatsoever.
Huh.
I just happened to have a 9-volt when you mentioned it. Those don't even look like AAAs, though.
No, they look smaller.
Yeah, they are definitely
smaller.
smaller. Wait a minute. I might have AAAs here. Oh, I got AA.
Do you have a remote?
No.
Your remotes probably wouldn't have AAAs, huh? Interesting.
No, I don't have any actual AAAs. AA's are obviously, here's a AA comparison.
Mm-hmm. It might be a AAA, man. Does it have any markings on it?
Oh, now you're gonna make me have to put on my glasses.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh, sorry guys, I'm looking older like this. I met a fan yesterday, and I'm not gonna say he's a fan, but someone who watches videos. I don't know if he really likes him. He said I looked a lot younger in person. So wearing these glasses just what's that, put like 20 years on me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's not helping. What he said I looked old on the show. He had his own channel. Him and his sons, they have a couple more subscribers than us. He's at like 1.2 million subs. So I felt kind of little, but it was cool that he recognized me. There's no markings on this except for like hazardous chemicals, you're going to die, something like that. But
that seems reasonable.
Yeah, they're all soldered together on the bottom and probably on the top.
That's neat.
Yep. Okay. Well, we proved
learn something new every day.
I'm going to throw that away. Take off the glasses. Look at that. I'm 20 years younger.
I wouldn't go that far. So yeah, CATL is going to be dropping prices for a number of their customers, but not Tesla. This is good because all of these companies are struggling to get positive margins. At the same time, they're in a bit of a price war for retail costs. And, you know, as much as I'd love to see Tesla's price drop too, it's possible they've already got a deal that's so sweet that it can't be sweetened anymore. And they are kind of a big enough dog that they can fend for themselves.
What do you think of these price wars? Do you think it's going to drive anyone out of business?
Yes.
Who?
Yes. I don't know. These Chinese companies, the question is how much government support they have. They're all good cars. They're all losing money. So it's entirely possible that their survival in a price war will come down to how much bailout they get.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that they're all good cars. There's that Wu Lang thing, which is...
That's not on this list.
I know, but...
Well, I see.
Yeah.
No, there's dozens and dozens of companies.
China has hundreds of new auto manufacturers, so it's not expected that they would all survive.
Right.
But when we're talking...
And a lot of them are already gone.
Yeah, but when we're talking about the big dogs, Neo, Li Auto... Xiaopeng, did I say that right?
BYD.
BYD, yeah. And I'm so tired of seeing BYD's numbers that they're crushing Tesla when they're plug-in hybrids.
They're plug-in hybrids that they basically don't export. They export a few, but not many. I saw a funny one earlier today, people saying, oh, Tesla's numbers in China came out and they're down. They're so down. It's like, right. You know, the Model 3 line is shuttered for retooling. So it's, I mean, okay.
Well, that's when you buy the dip because you've got people not reading the numbers correctly.
Yeah.
Just reading the numbers and not reading what's behind it.
Not reading past the headline. Do you know that a majority of Texans back the shift to solar energy? 2 years after Winter Storm Uri wreaked havoc on Texas's power grid, a majority of Texans support expanding the country's reliance on solar and other alternative energy sources. Figured I'd just talk for you there.
Yeah, thanks. They need battery backups. That's what they need.
Yeah.
And Tesla has been putting in those large what do they call
Packs.
them? Mega packs,
Mm-hmm.
which are expensive, but they can really come in handy when you have no power. So
Yeah.
it would have really helped out on that storm that they had. Wasn't it like Valentine's Day 2 years ago?
I believe it was.
Yes.
And it was quite deadly, unfortunately.
Yes.
Because I mean, a power outage, oh no. But once you start losing lives, it's a big deal, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, I can see why Texas, for all the people who think of it as an oil state, it has been an oil state, but it's the largest wind state in the union, and it's got a lot of solar, and people are open to this.
Yeah, it's going to continue becoming more mainstream.
Yeah. Do you know that solar panels are already going up over canals the pilot program will also deploy iron flow batteries.
Well, I think the thing with the canals, putting them over them, I think that's pretty cool stuff. I imagine that they engineer them so that they can work on them somehow without having to use some sort of man lift to hover over. But I think those are pretty cool. It's a good way to save things. It's gonna slow down evaporation of the water in the canals because the sun's not hitting them directly, so it's keeping the water cooler. You're going to generate electricity, and it's a great place to put them because otherwise it's just wasted real estate.
You already own the land.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what I don't know. What are iron flow batteries?
All right, so iron flow batteries. Oh, how did I goof that up? There it is. Iron flow batteries. It's basically a different chemistry. They haven't been used as much, but they've got an awesome life cycle. They last vastly longer. They get some servicing at 7 to 10 years, but are expected to last 25 years. And the cycle count is on here somewhere over 20,000 cycles. And yeah, they're cheaper materials. They're easy to site and safe to operate. It doesn't use vanadium, lithium, or cobalt, reducing the environmental impact. So it sounds like these are ready to go and with no degradation over 20,000 cycles. The problem with them is the energy density is low, so you'd never put them in a car. There's a bunch of reasons you wouldn't put them in a car, but for stationary storage, considering all of the above approach is what we're looking for right now, these are interesting. And this is what they're apparently intending to use over the canals.
So they're going to generate the electricity from the solar panels, store them in these batteries, and are these going to be used as backups? Do you know, or they?
I assume so. I assume they will be used just like megapacks to offset, peak excess power and supply it back at night, so they could charge them all the way up every day and all the way down every night for years and years without degradation.
20,000 cycles. So that's 20,000 divided by 365. That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
So 25 years without design life. So this would be great. We'll see how it comes along. We're doing good on time. We've got 15 more minutes.
Well, that is super. Maybe we should talk about something different, like steel that comes in green colors or something.
That's what it is. Sir, I believe you're talking about copper. Nope, it's green.
Yeah, a copper would be a green metal, wouldn't it?
It sure would. So the idea is smelters typically use a lot of juice anyhow you slice it. Wherever you get your energy, it's a lot. And they often use natural gas or coal because it is so energy dense. And this would, the idea is these blast furnaces would be not using coal, for example. Um, so they would fed with steel is usually made in a process that starts with blast furnaces fed with coking coal and iron ore, and they emit large quantities of carbon dioxide. So this would reduce it. We use hydrogen technology designed to cut emissions by as much as 95%.
How does that make you feel, them using hydrogen?
Is it a car?
It's going to make a car.
I don't hate hydrogen.
Yes, you do.
It's
You
just,
hate it.
no, I don't. It's just not a solution for automobiles, for passenger vehicles.
I agree, but I just wanted to give you a hydrogen hard time, like I do,
As you do.
as I
As you
do.
do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and there's a variety of these being built in Europe. So we will see which ones win, which ones take the lead.
So Hyla needs to create some hydrogen stations and sell them the hydrogen.
Shipping hydrogen that far would be difficult.
Well, no, they got to build them in Sweden.
Oh, I got you. That would make more sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Make more
They've
sense.
they've got a buyer.
They've got a buyer. Yeah.
Uh,
The global annual production is currently 2,000 million tons. Can we not just say 2 billion tons? According to figures from the World Steel Association.
yeah, we use a lot of steel, don't we?
Yeah, a bit of metal in the world. And we're not very good at capturing all of it before it goes to a landfill, which seems
Hmm.
like a real waste to me.
Well, it's still there. Go get it.
Yeah, yeah, we can. There are countries, I believe, that have mined landfills before.
I wonder how many times they find a body, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
nasty things you find in there. I hope they're not like hand picking it. I hope they're going there with a giant magnet and just pulling out the metal instead of like
yeah.
pulling up the used condoms and feet and stuff like that.
I was going to say chicken bones, but okay.
Chicken bones. Oh, you know the dogs already got to them.
Mexico's President Manuel Lopez Obrador has officially signed a decree to nationalize the lithium mined in the country.
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Uh, go ahead.
that seems like what you do when you want no companies to invest in your country ever again.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the socialistic side when you start nationalizing things
Yeah.
and having the government own them. You know, if they wanted to control who's coming in, they can control it without nationalizing it. They can say you can't deal with certain entities. If you're going to mine this, it has to stay in this country, or even if the product eventually doesn't, like say a mach,
Yeah.
requires lithium. But there's things that you can do then other than to nationalize and just take over all the lithium deposits. Because if the government starts mining the lithium and selling it, that's just giving money to the government and
Yeah.
giving them power.
And
It gives them
yeah.
power.
Yeah. And as you know, foreign entities are already not allowed to own property in Mexico. Isn't that right?
That's true. If you want to buy property in Mexico, you, as an American, you're going to get a 100-year lease on the
Yeah.
property, but
Yeah.
you don't own it, and I think you have the rights to let it be inherited to somebody, but it's still a 100-year lease, and
I
I don't know what happens at the end of that 100 years, but you cannot outright own it.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. This seems pretty crazy. This was fun. I hope this has been resolved by the time this video is published. The rumors about Mexico keep coming out and they keep not happening. And every time a new rumor comes out, I get flooded on Twitter by people going, I told you. And then it just doesn't happen. So it'll be interesting to see if there is, in fact, a plant in Mexico. If there is, I expect that to be announced tomorrow at Investor Day.
Yeah, did you see the last line of this article?
Yeah, yeah. Was due to meet the president on Friday just passed. Well, Tesla will soon confirm. Yeah, but that's according to Reuters, and they've been wrong on the previous two rumors. So I don't listen to anything they have to say because they're wrong consistently on their leaks regarding Tesla.
Well, that's good because you know what not to believe.
Yeah. So, cobalt, a crucial battery material, is suddenly super abundant. And this article goes on to say it's also true of lithium. Lithium and cobalt are less scarce than we believed they were just recently, with prices collapsing significantly.
That is fantastic news. Apparently, they're up at $82,000 a ton, and then it collapsed to $35,000 a ton. That still seems pretty expensive. But remember, these cars don't actually use; they only use a handful of lithium and cobalt in each for each car.
That's
so
right.
it does spread pretty far. So
That's right.
you're able to make a lot of cars, a lot of batteries.
Yeah. And and the LFP battery doesn't use any cobalt or nickel, which over half the world's EVs are already on LFP, though not in the US. That number is expected to continue climbing for LFP over the high nickel content. And for that matter, Tesla's batteries and a lot of the newer batteries use significantly less cobalt already. So that's good.
They shouldn't have had that run up to 82,000 because it made everyone go, maybe we should find another way of doing this. So, all right, I've got iron flow battery chart up next, which I think we already went over.
We
right?
already did. Yeah, we did. I also had it in the wrong place, but yeah. So this is one you found. Experience with a brand new all-electric Mercedes.
Yeah, this seemed the guy, this poor guy, bought a brand new EQB 300. So that's the electric Mercedes. It's a smaller SUV, B class, so it's not super high end. But the guy, pretty much his car's been bricked. The battery doesn't operate. He had numerous problems after he bought it. And and this is in Ukraine, by the way. So the support he's getting has been from Mercedes is pretty horrible. And he was told not to take this issue public, because if he did, and Mercedes would go ahead and intentionally slow down his battery replacement, which is still supposed to take several months. So he's been told, keep your mouth shut, which he obviously did not, because he didn't secretly tell me about this. But the battery is $30,000. He doesn't have to pay for it, supposedly, because it's under warranty. But they are really dragging this out, and this is a brand new car, and he's looking at it being there for probably 3 or 4 months. Except this goes public, then he's probably going to be looking at twice as long, because he pissed off Mercedes.
Wow.
These are issues that the car manufacturers we were talking about earlier, they've got to figure this stuff out. How can they not? Making these cars apparently is hard. So I guess here's to Tesla for not having issues like this. Tesla's had issues like this, but I think they get handled a little bit better. And they're also not in the Ukraine. I don't know if that's the best place to expect warranty work to be quick.
I hold Mercedes-Benz customer service to a high standard, and if this was my experience, I would be livid. I would commit to never buying one again.
Okay, so I got a little Mercedes story for you.
All right.
We're gonna see how good their customer service is, because I currently have a request in. My Mercedes advisor put this request into Mercedes. I didn't even ask, so I was very happy that she did this. My rear window on my C300 Cabriolet, it's delaminating, so the window is coming off of the convertible top. Water actually will leak through. And I've called a couple different places. I called glass places first, and they're like, no, we can't replace that. And they got referred to a convertible top place, and they said, you got to replace the entire top to replace the back window. I'm like, that sounds kind of crazy. Like, so if somehow my back window actually gets broken, I have to replace the entire convertible top. Yeah. So we could do it's going to cost you like $4,800. Like, okay, well, let me go talk to Mercedes. I talked to Mercedes and go, oh yeah, that was on the old part. We have a new part number for that. It's going to be $6,300. It's the only way to replace it. So my Mercedes advisor says she's putting in a request. I'm out of warranty with Mercedes for them to help with this. So
Yeah,
I'm just
goodwill it.
yeah, I'm waiting for just some sort of response from Mercedes to say they will help. They'll pay half. They'll pay all. They'll comp it to me. I don't know, but this is just to replace the back glass. You're looking at $6,300. And by the way, I have an extended warranty that doesn't cover it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So we got one more story before we call it a day.
Oh, fantastic! I want to
What
call
is
it a
it?
day. I don't know what it is.
Rivian patents air-conditioned EV charger, but it's not what you'd expect.
I don't know what to expect from something like that.
Did you close this one? This was your link.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I know what it is, but this doesn't seem to make any sense to me. How blowing some hot air underneath your car is going to have any effect on the battery temperature. These battery packs are pretty well sealed. I like to think that they're probably insulated, right?
Well, especially with how much clearance a Rivian has, it feels like it would just blow all out.
Right. Do you hit a button and like flaps come down on the side to keep the air in?
I think this is waste heat anyway, so they're just trying to be like, hey, we have a second use for it. I don't know. Rivian's patent states that this innovation was brought about by the rapid increase in charging power for EVs over the past 5 to 10 years. Has it?
I can't see this working. I can't see this making any difference.
Yeah, well, I don't either. So we've done good. We've got the whole second show done.
Yeah.
Should we thank our patrons?
Yeah, let's thank the patrons. Patrons,
Yeah.
you are thanked. We do appreciate you tuning in and watching us go through this as tragically as we did it, with me constantly coughing and Brian looking like the way he looks, but he's shaved, so he doesn't look as homeless as he did when I first saw him today. So I want to thank you, Brian. I want to thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. And
I'm still in shock over this Rivian thing. I have to take it off the screen.
It's too painful.
It's too painful. I want to look at the guy holding the Cobalt. I think that works out. Yeah, that works out better for me.
So yeah, thanks everybody. If you're in Austin, I'll see you tomorrow. And if you're not, I won't.
All right.